So, let's get right into it. Can you really get EU residency for just €10,000 in 2026? The short answer is yes, but it's almost certainly not the way those slick TikTok agents are selling it. I've been seeing these ads everywhere, promising you a golden ticket to Europe with just a €10,000 investment. They make it sound like you can just wire the money, show up and get your residency card, no questions asked. Sounds too good to be true, right? That's because, for the most part, it is. The reality is a lot more nuanced, and if you don't understand the details, you're not just going to lose your 10 grand, you could get banned from the Schengen area entirely. Let me be perfectly clear about this. If you've seen ads promising instant EU residency, no documents, no income proof, and a guaranteed approval for a flat fee of €10,000, that is a scam. Full stop. These people are preying on your dream of living in Europe. They take your money, maybe file some bogus paperwork that gets immediately rejected, and then they disappear. You're left with nothing but an empty bank account and a massive headache. The immigration world is full of these traps, and the €10,000 EU residency promise is one of the biggest ones I've seen in a while. Don't fall for it. Don't even click on the ad. Just smash that like button for the algorithm instead. It's a much better use of your time. But here's the good news, and the reason I'm making this video. Here's the truth most people won't tell you. There are real, completely legal EU residency pathways that cost under €20,000, and some get very, very close to that €10,000 mark. If you understand the rules and do it the right way. It's not about finding a magic loophole, it's about strategic planning. It requires paperwork, it requires meeting specific criteria, and it requires patience. In this video, I'm going to break down 4 legitimate options, show you the real costs, the real requirements, and how you can actually make this happen without getting scammed. We're going to look at the numbers, the documents, and the timelines, so let's get into it. Alright, first up, let's talk about what I consider one of the cheapest and safest routes to EU residency right now, the Portugal D7 visa. Now this isn't a visa where you just hand over a lump sum of money. Instead, it's designed for people who have a stable, passive income from outside Portugal. Think retirees with a pension, real estate investors collecting rent, or even people living off dividends from their stock portfolio. The key word here is passive. This isn't for active remote work, which we'll get to later. The government wants to see that you can support yourself without taking a job in Portugal. So what are the exact requirements? The main one is proving that passive income. As of right now, the minimum is just over €820 per month for a single applicant. To be safe, and because the requirements can change, I always tell people to aim for at least €1,000 a month, or $12,000 a year. On top of that, you'll need to open a Portuguese bank account and deposit a reasonable amount, usually between €8,000 and €10,000 as a show of funds. You'll also need to secure a 12-month rental agreement in Portugal and get private health insurance. These are non-negotiable steps that prove your commitment to residing there. Now let's break down the total cost, because this is where it gets interesting. The government fees are a few €100. Health insurance might be €500 to €1,000 for the year. Your biggest upfront costs will be the first and last month's rent, plus a security deposit, and the funds you place in your Portuguese bank account. When you add it all up, lawyer fees, application fees, rent, and the bank deposit, you're looking at a total initial outlay of somewhere between €8,000 and €12,000. See how close that gets to the magical 10,000 number? But it's done legally, with proof of income. The benefits here are absolutely incredible for that price point. You get a residency permit that allows you to live, work, after converting to a work permit, and study in Portugal. You get visa-free travel throughout the entire 27-country Schengen area. And here's the best part. After just 5 years of holding legal residency, you are eligible to apply for permanent residency and even Portuguese citizenship. This means getting an EU passport, one of the most powerful in the world. It's a legitimate, transparent pathway that focuses on financial stability, not just a one-time payment. Next up, let's talk about an option that's perfect for the modern economy, the Greece Digital Nomad Visa. This one isn't for passive income earners, it's specifically for active remote workers, freelancers, and online business owners who want to live under the Greek sun while working for clients or companies outside of Greece. The Greek government realized that thousands of people were already doing this from the beaches of Crete and Athens, so they created a legal framework to attract them officially. It's a fantastic budget-friendly entry point into the EU if you have a location-independent job. Unlike the Portugal D7, the income requirement here is higher, and it must be active income. You need to prove a stable net income of at least €3,500 per month after taxes. If you're bringing a spouse, that number increases by 20%, and it goes up another 15% for each child. So for a couple, you'd need to show €4,200 per month. The Greek authorities want to be sure you are a high-earning professional who will be spending money in their economy without taking a local job. You'll also need to provide a clean criminal record from your home country and, just like in Portugal, proof of comprehensive health insurance valid in Greece. So what's the cost? This is where it gets very close to that €10,000 mark. The visa application and residency permit fees are relatively low, just a few €100s. Your main expenses will be similar to the D7 setup first month's rent and a security deposit, which in Athens or Thessaloniki can be quite reasonable. You'll need a lawyer to help you navigate the process, which might cost €2,000 to €3,000. When you add up the legal fees, initial rent, health insurance for a year, and some funds to get started, you can realistically get this done for between €7,000 and €10,000. It's an incredibly efficient use of capital. The benefits are immediate. You get the right to live legally in Greece for up to 2 years, with the ability to renew it. You also get full access to travel across the Schengen zone. While this visa itself doesn't lead directly to citizenship in the same way the Portuguese one does, it gets your foot in the door. It establishes you as a legal resident in Greece. From there, you have the option to explore other long-term residency pathways once you're on the ground. It's a fantastic way to legally test drive living in Europe while you build your future. Okay, now for a country that almost nobody is talking about, which is exactly why you should be paying attention. Latvia. This small Baltic nation offers an underrated and surprisingly affordable business visa that can get you EU residency for under €15,000. This is for the entrepreneurs, the startup founders, and the people who want to build a real business inside the European Union. Forget the saturated markets of Germany or France. Latvia offers a low-competition environment with a government that's actively seeking new business investment, even on a small scale. The primary requirement is that you have to register a real Latvian company, known as a SIA. This isn't a shell company. You need a legitimate business plan that the authorities will review. You have to show what your company will do, who your customers are, and how it will be viable. The minimum share capital for this company can be as low as €2,800, but here's the key. You don't even have to pay that full amount up front. You can often start with just half of it. The process involves creating the company, submitting your business plan, and then applying for a temporary residence permit based on your role as a board member or founder. Let's talk numbers. The state fees for company registration and the residence permit are a few €100s. The biggest cost is the capital injection for your company. Let's say you put in €5,000 to show you are serious. You'll also need a legal address for your company and an accountant, which can be arranged for a reasonable annual fee. Add in lawyer fees to make sure all the corporate and immigration paperwork is perfect, and you are looking at a total setup cost of between €10,000 and €15,000. For the price of a used car, you can become the director of your own EU company and get residency. The benefits are huge for anyone with an entrepreneurial spirit. You get a residence permit for yourself and your family, allowing you to live in Latvia and travel across the Schengen zone. Your company is now an EU entity, giving you access to the entire European single market. Approvals can also be significantly faster than in many Western European countries, because the system isn't as overloaded. This is not a passive route. It requires you to actually run your business. But if you have a solid online service, a small e-commerce brand, or a consulting gig, this is one of the most direct and affordable ways to establish yourself inside the EU. Finally, we need to talk about Malta. You've probably seen the ads for Malta's Golden Passport or its residency by investment programs, which cost hundreds of thousands or even millions of euros. But lately, scammers have been twisting this and promising a cheap €10,000 residency route in Malta. Let me be crystal clear, there is no €10,000 golden visa for Malta. It does not exist. The ads you are seeing are designed to lure you into a very expensive and often fraudulent process. So where does the confusion come from? Malta does have several different residency permits, like a nomad residence permit similar to Greece's, or permits based on self-sufficiency. In theory, some of these could be structured for an initial outlay under 20,000 euros, but the requirements are incredibly strict and the ongoing costs are much higher than the initial setup. For example, the self-sufficiency route requires you to show you have at least 50,000 euros in capital assets and you must rent or buy a property that meets a certain minimum value, which is not cheap in Malta. The problem is that unlicensed agents are taking these complex legal routes, oversimplifying them, and selling them as a cheap, easy package. They will take your 10,000 or 15,000 euro deposit, maybe file some incomplete paperwork, and then tell you that you need to pay another 20,000 euros for government processing or some other fake fee. By the time you realize it's a scam, they are long gone with your money. The Maltese government is extremely strict about compliance, and using an unlicensed agent is a surefire way to get your application rejected and potentially flagged. My advice for Malta is simple. Tread with extreme caution. This is not a DIY country for immigration. Do not, under any circumstances, engage with an agent you found on TikTok or Facebook promising a cheap deal. If you are genuinely interested in Maltese residency and have the significant funds required for their legitimate programs, you must only work with a licensed Maltese lawyer or an officially accredited agent you can verify on the government's own website. For anyone on a 10,000 to 20,000 euro budget, the options in Portugal, Greece, or even Latvia are infinitely safer, more transparent, and more likely to succeed. So there you have it. The answer to the big question is yes, 10,000 euros can absolutely get your foot in the door for EU residency in 2026, but only if you are smart about it. It's not about buying a visa, it's about strategically investing in a legal pathway. Whether it's proving passive income for Portugal, showing your remote work salary for Greece, or launching a small business in Latvia, the legitimate routes are all about proving your value and stability. They require paperwork, patience, and a clear understanding of the rules. The dream is real, but it's built on a foundation of legal compliance, not on a slick, too-good-to-be-true sales pitch from a random agent online. The key takeaway is to avoid the scams by focusing on the official, government-approved pathways. Remember, if a deal promises guaranteed approval with no documents and no proof of income for a simple flat fee, it is a trap. The real cost is not just the money you will lose, but the damage it can do to your future immigration prospects. Your EU future depends on facts, not hype. It depends on careful research, proper documentation, and working with credible professionals. The opportunities are out there and they are more accessible than you might think, but you have to approach them the right way. If this breakdown was helpful and you want to dive even deeper, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. I'm planning to release detailed country-specific breakdowns with full document checklists, real timelines from people who have done it, and a step-by-step guide to avoiding common mistakes for each of these visas. We'll cover everything you need to know to turn this plan into a reality. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.